The reality is the Sky are still very far from that.
If you say Angel's not as big as Caitlyn, because she's not, guys. That's the reality of it all.
Reese Angel is losing it in the wake of all the elite free agents. Utterly degraded her super team. In Chicago, she talked a lot about fantasy, but she was placed on red after the league rejected her.
So, not a good day for the Chicago Sky. Not a good day at all, because
now the Sky look like a wreck, with Reese leading what might as well be a glorified pickup squad.
Sky fans aren't happy. They all want her fired.
Currently, with Reese, the Sky appeared to be a ruin, leading what may be considered a glorified pickup squad.
The Angel Reese effect, no.
You understand. It's hilarious that Angel Reese jumped on her podcast some time ago with the type of assurance that only a single person, she may have actually stated, delusional, using her entire chest. She was establishing a Chicago powerhouse.
You don't get told no. Like, you're going to get the yeses. You're going to get more yeses than nos, and just being able to know that. So I'm excited for that. I know that's going to come.
A WNBA super team, dynasty, as if she were about to take over the league or comparable. Fast forward to the present, as well as check if the powerhouse blew a deal. Fuse because the skies around Chicago are roughly as dangerous as a damp serviette.
We have heard news from the journalist who reports on the WNBA, and because she is not a homer like a lot of the other people, like normally journalists are complete homers for one team.
Let's be honest. The heavens are situated in the center of a complete reconstruction. Translation there. Not even making an effort to appear competitive. Nevertheless, in the midst of everything, Reese honestly thought this mess. Well-known all-stars would be waiting in Q2. Not one person played with her. 1-0. She's out here acting as though I'm the spokesperson for. Free agents are not in the league at the moment. Here, packed and blocking her number. Their bags for absolutely any other location.
Young core pieces like that, because you could be part of developing them and developing towards a title contending season. But the reality is the Sky are still very far from that.
Free agent is progressing nicely. And what's nothing at all is happening in Chicago. It's as quiet as tumbling tumbleweeds. The roster is displayed through a vacant gym, less filled than Reese's recruitment assurances. Talent is being stacked by other teams out here. Reese is playing a game of D-Jenga. I'm stranded in Chicago, like who knows anyone. When one appeared, you'd believe she was making an effort to assemble a group in Antarctica. The people fled this project.
So, lads, this is not great news, for the Chicago Sky, who are a team that obviously they're rebuilding. This is a team that is 100% rebuilding. The problem is they don't own their pick. So
she was excited, presenting herself as a WNBA style. Pat Riley's phone conversations and closing transactions, but this isn't NBA 2K. And the calls were routed directly to unread voicemail, or worse, and never opened. Just think of how confident what it takes to let people know you're starting a great team, followed by each major. In contrast, Sprint is a free agent. Angel Reese didn't simply receive. Ignoring it, she was curved by the whole league.
The whole city is obsessed with you.
I know. I love it
all
here.
the time.
It feels like Baltimore here. I love it here. It does.
Kind of. A little bit. A little DMV action.
Yeah.
Now, let's dive into the name, since it becomes even more. When you boil it down, it's embarrassing. The absence of Kelsey Plum. She's going to Los Angeles to have a wild time with you would expect that Sparks Joel Lloyd would be at. Take Chicago, for example. She's a literal. She was born and raised in Chicago, which has the ideal hometown hero story is prepared.
About the three big names you gotta know: Alyssa Thomas, Natasha Cloud, Brittany Griner. Let's start with Brittany Griner, joining Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard in Atlanta. Dream team?
You understand. She got a contract with Las Vegas. She declined the windy instead, Vegas City as well as Sin City, since, apparently, a championship is being played. Wilson is a bit more with AA. More alluring than being confined to Chicago. Observing the host and Reese SMI layups. Brittany Griner podcasts directly to Alyssa Thomas Phoenix of Atlanta. These. Not only did women avoid Chicago, but they, like a horrible Tinder date, they ghosted it. Reese left the place and everyone behind. Shut down their location-based services.
And I can't help but wonder, is that what happened here? Is Angel Reese and the way she wants to play, and I don't know if you've ever noticed her social media posts, but she's very me. Always. Me.
Not only is it a matter of preference, but rejection on the magnitude of the league. No one wishes to prevent the smoke from becoming trapped in the. You and Angel Reese share the same locker room. Might provide these stars with a max contract, a penthouse, and a private jet are not yet arriving, because when it does, the only thing rising in Chicago is, why would the drama, not the wins? They are serious. What would any respectable free agent do? Even consider collaborating with Angel in that sweltering chaos of a franchise without any leadership, no culture, no direction.
Throughout the year, WNBA players were demanding to be given credit for elevating the league. Angel Reese claimed that she was along with their pretend friends in the mainstream media. They wanted us to believe that the WNBA was exploding in popularity.
It's A. Reconstructing the squad with nothing at all. To demonstrate, Reese discusses being the primary appeal, but you know what, actual stars do not intend to become backup dancers. They're making an effort with the Angel Reese show to win titles rather than serve as a backup. Parts in an Instagram reel of someone.
They wanted to keep all the credit for themselves while downplaying the impact of the only star in the league, Caitlin Clark.
However, it gets better. In fact, Reese is incredibly confident, believed that her next move was to recruit. She was attempting to work out here, talking up players behind the scenes, unmatched name dropping and acting like she has the same level of pull as a WNBA player. Kingmaker, however, rather than creating she recently created a group chat, fantastic team, dotted with blue checkmarks that are never, replied that she genuinely thought that, due to the fact that she was popular once throughout. In March Madness, she could unexpectedly create her team, but that's not how the WNBA operates.
Yeah, let's tell you about Caitlin Clark. Yeah.
She even attempted to drag Gabby Williams. Gabby did observe the pandemonium, examined the front desk, examined the league's public face, and struck her with a fat, no shade at all. In fact, every shade. Gabby has no desire to participate in her experiment. Angel Reese isn't the only one word other players is used. Were deliberately put off by the notion of playing beside her as though Angel were that is an automatic red flag for a recruiter. It seems like the buzz has vanished. Next, Clark would like to see a Sky game. This season, you can get inexpensive seats like last-minute tickets to a band's performance. Nowadays, nobody really pays attention to. Good luck catching a fever in the interim. The ticket has been sold out for several months.
If the Chicago Sky run it back, they're probably not making the playoffs next year. Look, I think there's going to be an improvement from Angel Reese. I think it's going to be an improvement from Cardoso. But that team with no Kennedy Carter, it's going to be real tough to get any offensive.
Let's discuss Kennedy Carter as well. You would imagine that the top scorer for the Sky, Reese, could at least keep her on board. Correct. Incorrect. Carter didn't even receive a qualifying offer. Give it some thought. Past season's top player on the squad did not even request to remain, and it's not. She was stable, even if Carter had a rough year. However, Chicago's front desk was similar. You are aware of how dysfunctional the team must allow their top scorer to, when rebuilding, walk for nothing.
With the Sky's typical home arena is able to hold. And of course, I mean, this is a duh for so many reasons.
Because you genuinely believe that Angel Reese had nothing to do with the possibility that Carter not have a reputation for avoiding drama herself. However, she was able to see the lettering on. She sank out of the wall like someone avoiding a project in which the group, Reese, the class's loudest member, isn't only Not bringing in talent, she's actively removing it, as if when she speaks in order to recruit. Another player signs a contract elsewhere.
It seems the Chicago Sky have had to move 2 of their home games.
In summary, Angel Reese spoke a big game, stated that she'll construct legendary, but what she's really no all-stars, genuinely built is a big fat. Ghosted texts, no recruitment, no breezes. Burned bridges, as well as a great deal of. This is an awkward silence in Chicago. This is basically a terrible offseason. Complete tour of humiliation and guess. It's Miss Who's in the spotlight. I am the league's spokesperson. Observing the fantasy of the elite team burn to ashes as the WNBA as a whole moves. Continue on without her.
Y'all shouldn't be mad about this, bro. Like, this is just the reality of the situation. You're not a hater. You're not none of that if you say Angel's not as big as Caitlyn. Because she's not, guys. That's the reality of it all, bro.
Angel's situation worsens. Just when you believe she's hit she takes a shovel and digs at the bottom of the rock. Further, directly into the catastrophe that is now playing basketball in Chicago. And, to be honest, nobody is shocked because when your team appears to be departing from a community center, and your pick is the franchise player's primary concentration, you can't realistically expect to get more talks than titles. Achievement, but let's dissect everything, as this clown act is worthy of its own 3-ring circus.
Again, as of right now, to my knowledge, that what I've seen, no other Angel Reese games have been moved due to potential attendance for said game.
Initially, let's start by discussing facilities, how the Aces, Liberty, and other WNBA teams. Millions are being invested in top-tier training facilities, Chicago said. The Sky is good. It doesn't even have a appropriate elite facility till 2026, 2 more years, is not a sprint. They are actually rehearsing what a high school gym is being referred to by athletes as a gym in a high school league. They have Angel, and they are growing like crazy. Reese exercising with her buddies in like us, a glorified rec center. Really, your teams are performing well. Recovery chambers for performance analytics, nourishment specialists, followed by the Sky. Ankle taping in the janitors. The wardrobe.
Just trying to give myself some grace because I know I'm not the player that I want to be just yet, but also kind of patting myself in the back, telling myself that I'm still doing great.
This goes beyond simple discomfort. The Sky is completely disrespected. Professional players being treated like WCK League. Gamers making them practice in a typical high school gym that was glorified. Rims and no improvements until 2026, as well as the straight trash on-court product 13-2. Their worst performance since 2020 was 27 in 2023. It was intended that Angel Reese would alter the culture, which she accomplished by transforming it into a complete chaos. According to insiders, the locker room is a mess. Poisonous. The front desk is a revolving door, and culture only provides a choose a few, and I wonder who that might be. Not only is Reese not leading well, she's probably the primary cause of everything's disintegrating.
America's team versus a team who has the person who is the scourge of society. Oh, God. Oh, man. Quote, they watch for me, too.
You believe that every star aspires to walk, that they're attempting to obtain rings, not attend a reunion of Real Housewives. The WNBA is overflowing with hungry women with talent who desire professionalism, framework, and a culture that places a high priority on team accomplishment while Reese is away, selling mayhem with a dash of influence. She's peddling this image of chasing. Chicago seems like an exclusive travel destination. However, it's actually simply one enormous red flag.
The Indiana Fever are that golden destination, and I can't help but laugh to the fans and the people online and the media commentators, unfortunately, who said that nobody wanted to play in Indiana. That doesn't make any...
Let's now pause to appreciate the Indiana Fever due of their performance. All is well as Reese is occupied, losing teammates and mishandling bags. Indiana recently performed a masterful free. Natasha Howard was taken up by the agency. Sydney, Sophie Cunningham, and Diana Boner. That's 4 playoffs that have shown high Carlson. Veteran all-in-one off Cian. IQ high motor veteran. That's how you assemble a squad. You demonstrate your seriousness to the league.
This is the motion that the Indiana Fever / Caitlin Clark have.
And simply, to further twist the knife, Brianna Turner was also taken by Reese. Right out from under her own teammate. Nose that resembles your closest companion. Switching schools since they don't. No longer wish to join you for lunch. Turner might have been the ideal addition to construct in Chicago, but she noticed the dysfunction and left immediately. That's the result of your purported. The franchise leader is out there behaving as though a famous person rather than a professional. Oh, athlete, the humiliation never goes away. Supporting Angel Reese while she was busy promoting her make-believe super team in. The Indiana Fever were out here, Chicago. In control of free agency, they quit. Brianna Turner was taken by Kelsey Mitchell and packed with Natasha and other veterans. In the meantime, Chicago's Howard and Diana Boner. They flattened, but they kept their free agency. Out didn't arrive, they weren't. Competitors, athletes, or even a portion of the talk.
Guys, I'm telling you, when Caitlin Clark comes to town, put it in the big arena because she is box office and it is going to be big money.
It's not just, but also the cause of the ascent of Caitlin Clark in Indiana. The league is placing all of its money on her, and who can really blame them? She wins games, fills arenas, and brings actual energy.
Yes, it is unrivaled. It is also unwatched. Look.
Conversely, Reese is over in Chicago co-founded the league that is unmatched, which were unable to even come together. 100,000 watchers is revolutionary, but not more. Similar to Invisible.
Well, now, jealous WNBA players will have the opportunity to earn that credit. Now, players like Angel Reese, they will be given the chance to test their star power.
The attraction is Clark. Caitlin is the maker, while Reese is the echo, making news with her play Angels. Noise, echoing from an empty gym, and self-promotion is double-dipping. When no one is around, the machine is cute. Observing how the crowd have expressed their excitement has moved on, leaving Reese to repost. Clips from podcasts attempting to persuade she's still relevant in the world, but she's not the focus has moved to an Angel who isn't. Not even in the frame anymore.
Kennedy had an incredible season for us last year, says the GM. She's extremely talented and is a player that can impact the game at the highest level in our league. We absolutely appreciate all she did for our team last year.
And the Chicago Sky's Kennedy Carter. Past season's top scorer. You are aware of the lone individual making buckets, while the others were having fun. Play hide and seek with constancy, yes, that Kennedy shown. The offensive load was carried by strong numbers, and she didn't even receive anything in return. The Sky is the AAL Ifeing offer. Simply let her go without offering a counter. Negotiations, no. We appreciate your contributions, merely a slam of the door and a news release.
However, we've made changes to our staff and we'll make changes to our roster. Those changes impact Kennedy's fit on the team, so we wanted to give her the best opportunity as a free agent.
The GM released some ambiguous statement that is passive-aggressive, such as we made adjustments affecting Kennedy's fit. The locker is being translated by the team. They're fed up with the circus that is the room, acting as though Angel Reese is not the one, distributing clown costumes because, well, being truthful when your top scorer is removed. Angel Reese remains unaffected by you. Already understand the source of the issue. From
according to WNBA Insider, that Illinois native Jewel Lloyd will not be going to Chicago Sky. And obviously, they didn't keep Kennedy Carter. And it's looking like one player, obviously, that's been in Chicago across.
However, we've modified our employees and will modify our. Kennedy's roster is affected by those changes. We wanted to give her a chance to play on the team. The greatest chance to sign as a free agent.
Women should be able to step in and be able to go into a locker room and be able to have a safe space, or go into a gym at 3 o'clock in the morning where they want to do that. So I want to be able to just invest.
It was easy to follow insider reports, and they're not attractive. It seems that Reese wasn't simply struggling with. She was out here running to recruit. Colleagues who are out of town. Coaches have left the culture. Lifeless as soon as she entered. It changed. From reconstruction to a hostage scenario. She is acting like a diva at full volume, pretending to be the Hive's queen bee, crowded with players who are obviously uninterested in relation to her.
Is Angel Reese, did she just run a coach out of town, and is she running a player out of town? Their best shooter out of town? Because Kennedy Carter looks like she's ready to book it out of Chicago.
And let's not assume that this is some behind-the-scenes footage. Mystery, simply open her Instagram account. The entire broadcast is just a lengthy diatribe for me. She's not attempting to lead a franchise that she's attempting to establish. Personal brand based on illusion and drama. It's energizing reality TV instead of leadership in professional sports, and word is that she, even the front office and teammates have. They've had enough and are over it, so you can only long-term gaslighting of a locker room prior to people beginning to pack their suitcases.
You don't get told no. Like, you're going to get the yeses. You're going to get more yeses than nos, and just being able to know that. So I'm excited for that. I know that's going to come soon.
Here's the worst part yet. Kennedy Carter, whose identity is unclear. Despite not having any drama, she nevertheless decided to carry out, allow that. One of the WNBA's players is Marinate Kennedy. Most passionate individuals, and even she, responded, "No, I'm excellent," which speaks louder than any GM press release at any time. Is it not the case that Reese and Carter conflicted since one of them brought hustle and the heat, while the other brought captions on Instagram and excuses, and you can guess which team decided to retain?
So it's just been great being able to see my impact on and off the court, and not just in sports, but just being able to be a cultural impact as well has just been great.
And you are aware of the conclusion. The outcome of all of this dysfunction is collapse in its entirety. Chicago Sky's franchise disaster. It is played in the third media. In the US market, the current, behaving like a G League underdog. You are in the third largest experiment market in the nation and is unable to draw in a single talented free agent. If I ever saw one, it was a repelling badge.
According to league sources, Weatherspoon had lost the locker room because of a culture that catered to the needs of a few players. Dear Lord.
She can scream all she wants about being the reason people watch, but the numbers say otherwise.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Let's not ignore Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese. Were meant to transform everything they hailed as the brand new twin towers of basketball for women, the future. Culture change as a means of boosting the brand instead. They're barely hanging on to their relevancy. Thread each interview, article, and each quote sounds like someone seeking to persuade themselves that it's okay. Going to work out, but there's a catch. Not only did the Sky miss the playoffs, they turned into a joke about the butt of every joke made by WNBA analysts when fans speak regarding squandered and unsuccessful off-seasons. Chicago's potential serves as the benchmark. These are the results of the meeting of hype and brutal reality, followed by a head crash. First into a poor person's brick wall. There are no decisions and unbridled egos. Identity, there aren't any stars, I apologize. A stat line of rebounds doesn't make you. To begin with, there is no hope, and to truly twist, the Sky cannot even repair the knife appropriately, as they don't even possess. They can't ruin you with their own draft pick. cannot hire, you cannot keep what can. You're absolutely correct. Keep tweeting about how you are that girl, but the league as a whole continues without. At this time, Angel Reese is the alleged super team resembles a YMCA pickup squad without coaches or bench depth. Edge has no roadmap and no chemistry, attempting to motivate a group of people. Sayings and adorable attire when there are others out here. On the court, the stuff is being ground up. The brand off the court is unwatchable. The super team was constructed on delusion. The story was downgraded from good to good. Good fortune in the competition, and even that seems giving.
Angel Reese may be playing in the league, but who wants to see a goofy 6'6" woman miss layups? Not I.
And that leads us to the last section of the Solve the Mystery surrounding Angel Reese's whole fantasy WNBA empire, because this is in actuality, the league is changing, it's expanding and becoming sharper and faster, improved, and Angel Ree is moving away, lagging behind as she manages podcasts while sharing selfies. The actual effort is being carried out by gamers who are truly changing the needle.